here on my channel, every October I like to do, as many horror movie reviews as I can. And a lot of those turn out to be, a sequel or a kind of a rip-off of something else. Horror movies are notorious for being really, really bad. But every once in a while I like to bring you a good one. This is The Phantom of the Paradise. Okay, Phantom of the Paradise, 1974. It's not exactly a horror movie, but it scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid. I grew up watching this movie on late night television when I was a kid. Now, of course, it came out in 1974. I was like a toddler, so I didn't go to the theater to see this. It didn't do very well at the box office. This movie basically bombed everywhere except for Winnipeg, Manitoba. My hometown. What do you know? Yeah, it ran for about 4 months. They actually brought it back for another year and a half, something like that. Kept showing it in the theaters and stuff, and I mean, this is the days before home video. So yeah, I was a little kid. This movie's a huge success in Winnipeg. Everybody around me loved this movie, but I saw it, I guess just little bits and pieces of it when I was a kid. And then when I was a teenager, certain friends would tell me that they love this movie and, this is the greatest movie ever made. And I'm like, really? It's a musical? I hate musicals. Phantom of the Paradise, that's that stupid old movie that used to scare the shit out of me when I was a little kid. So I kind of avoided it. But then this year, I've come to realize that this is actually a great movie. I think it's about time I did my duty as a Winnipegger to tell you that this movie is awesome. It is a musical. Now, it's not a musical in the way that The Sound of Music or Mary Poppins is a musical where, kids are cleaning up their room and they suddenly burst into this epic Academy Award-winning song. No, it's not like that. It's a story about, the rock and roll industry, I guess. And the music that you hear is either being performed by the characters in the movie, like on stage, or it might be playing in the background. It's not a musical, like I said, in the way that, say, Wizard of Oz even is, and Dorothy's singing about the rainbow and all that stuff. So there's lots of great music in it. I can't say enough about the music. I didn't appreciate it that much when I was younger, but now that I've seen the movie in its entirety, just earlier this year, as a matter of fact, I think June, July, and that was the first time I'd ever seen the movie all the way through, and I really got a feel for the music and for the story and for the characters, and the entire feel of this movie is fantastic. Well, what's it about? Well, it's about Winslow Leach, humble songwriter, wants to break into the business, of course, and he's written an entire cantata, a musical piece in many parts, but it tells a complete story. And he's trying to tell the story of Faust. He auditions at what's soon to become the Paradise Theater, and he wants to get on stage and he wants to perform his music. Instead, he is offered a deal. And the deal is basically Swan, played by Paul Williams. Swan is the big producer here. He arranges for Winslow's music to be stolen from him so that he can use that music and have complete control over this music and have somebody else perform it at his theater at the Paradise, at the grand opening. It also introduces a sort of love interest for Winslow Leach, Phoenix, who is a female singer that comes to audition singing Winslow's songs Winslow doesn't realize at this point that his music has been stolen, and they don't intend to pay him a thing, and just gonna like get rid of him, I guess. And now I don't want to go too far into the details of the plot of this movie, because I 100% highly recommend watching this movie. Let's just say that the entire movie is kind of a cross between the Phantom of the Opera, the aforementioned Faust, as well as there's elements of a Picture of Dorian Gray in there, but it has the musical intensity of something like Tommy. This movie is supremely well crafted by Brian De Palma. Brian De Palma also, of course, did Carrie. I love that movie. Carrie, the original, of course, from the 70s. Carrie used a lot of striking images and quick cuts, and split screen is another thing. All these Brian De Palma trademarks, they're all in this movie as well. And it's got a certain darkness to it, certain cynicism, but also like a stark, like matter-of-fact style. I guess really the split screens and the montages and the fade to black and the quick close-ups and that kind of thing, all that Brian De Palma style, it all comes out really well here. Your main actors that you get in here are William Finley as Winslow Leach / the Phantom of the Paradise. I do believe he sang all of his parts. Very soulful. I mean, he's not a rock star, which I guess is kind of the point of the movie, is they wanted a rock star. But you get Winslow Leach. Then, of course, as your antagonist, you get Paul Williams. Paul Williams plays Swan. Swan is like the former, Billboard #1 selling artist, now turned producer, who is basically in league with the devil. Signed a contract with the devil, and then encourages Winslow to do the same. Williams wrote all the music for this movie. I hear he performed one of the songs on the Brady Bunch. Okay. Yeah, Paul Williams. Paul Williams. You've seen him in like Smokey and the Bandit, The Muppet Show, probably a bunch of times. Anyway, you can't mention The Phantom of the Paradise without talking about Paul Williams. The movie is synonymous with the name Paul Williams. Then Jessica Harper you get here as Phoenix. Phoenix is a singer. She gets to do a couple of songs in here, and of course the Phantom, being in love with her, wants only her to perform his music. While I gotta say she's a great singer, I don't find her performance to be that good. There's something about her, there's a certain cheesiness about her that just, maybe it's the way she dances, because she dances when she's singing one of the songs and she looks ridiculous, like she's doing the Funky Chicken or something. Oh, and of course, can't forget Garrett Graham. Garrett Graham plays Beef. So he's a made-up, big, phony rock star idiot, and man, is he hilarious. I love this guy in this movie. Beef's performance in this, I think, is probably the best out of all of these characters. Just because he makes me laugh, and he's so dumb, but he's supposed to be like so cool, and he's such an idiot. Yeah, there's lots to like in here. Now, when I say that this movie recently had a pretty big impact on me, I'm not kidding. I mean, like, look, I got the poster right here. I'm wearing the t-shirt. Got the movie on Blu-ray, of course. And I got the soundtrack. Now, the soundtrack I just recently got, but it has not left my CD player in my car for, a week and a half. But there it is. I mean, I can be pretty stubborn when it comes to my opinions sometimes. This is a movie that I judged for a long time to not really be worth my time, and I didn't really care for it, and I heard a lot of people liked it, especially in Winnipeg, and I was like, I don't know, and then I don't know what it was, I just suddenly, I was ordering a bunch of DVDs to watch, and I saw this was on there, and so I was like, give it a whirl. And oh boy, I can't believe that I waited so long to get on the bandwagon for this one. Phantom of the Paradise is a fantastic movie, fantastically shot. It sounds amazing. sound and picture and everything are all great on the Blu-ray quality, of course. I would love to get a VHS copy of this, but I imagine they're pretty rare. Or if not, send one my way, man. But yeah, it sounds amazing, it looks amazing, all the performances are great in here. A lot of it's a little over the top and a little cheesy, but if you can't handle that, then this is not a movie for you. As a horror movie, it's not really very scary, but it kind of is. It's more creepy. I mean, it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, but dude, I was like 6. I mean, I can't finish this review without giving The Phantom of the Paradise an A+. I swear to God, it's one of my new favorite movies, and I just saw it, like I said, for the first time all the way through, like 2 months ago. I had to sit on this one for a while. I had to watch it a bunch of times before I felt I was ready to do a review for it. And I guess my review is just, it's really cool, check it out, because I'm not giving you any details, because I want you to watch this movie. I don't want to tell you any more about it. I'm sure I've shown you enough in the pictures and stuff to make it hopefully intriguing. Phantom of the Paradise 1974 gets an A+ and the highest recommendation that I can give. Now for the rest of the October Horror-a-thon, we're gonna get some crappy ones in there. It's horror movies, right? They're hit or miss. Once again, thanks for joining me here at Andy Boy Comics and Toys. Happy Halloween, and have a good one, everybody.